lot of people look at the trailer that they've seen.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it looks like, the first series, the entire first series. But it can't possibly be because there wouldn't be enough time for it. There's so much. A lot of people are curious. There's a lot of really fun, smaller moments like King Boomy and stuff like that.
Yes.
What had to go to fit into this?
Yeah, the first outline I made of the movie, and I brought my writing to my house, and I was like, I outlined the movie. What do you think? And they were like, this is like 10 hours long. You can't. I was like, I can't. I love everything. And literally, the first outline was so long. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, gosh, I'm blanking now, but the bounty hunter with the sheer shoe that drives it. Like, I love that. I love that. And I'm like, I'm getting her in here if I have to. And I just couldn't fit her in. And so it becomes really, in an episodic series, the nature is it's episodic. You need to have a beginning, middle, and end in each episode, and so it needs you to go right, left, like that. But there's a through line that's present in most of the episodes. Like he has to master all the elements, those kind of things. Someone's chasing him, right? Those kind of things. Katara and her brother are becoming like a family, and they're protecting him, and they're moving to the Northern Water Tribe. So there would be broad things that represent the story of the first season, and so there's a bunch of things that had to get jettisoned for this movie. But my hope is she'll end up somewhere in one of these movies, and like I moved some things out, like the deserter, the deserter character. I love, and I think it's a huge moment. I moved him to the third movie when he's gonna learn fire, and so those kind of things. I'm trying to think what other things would be. Well, King Boomy's not in the first movie, but my hope is again as we get to Earth that all of those Earth kind of related things will come in handy. I mean, and it really is a kind of a distillation of just getting the story correct, and how much can I lay in with the line. Like I have a line which I hope stays, after 3 months, which is about Grandma saying something about my friend Hama, and who it's like my favorite episode of the series is the Bloodbender episode from the third season. So like I wanted to lay the groundwork for that, and so as much as I can do the balancing act. But it's always sad, to lose something that was fun and exciting in the first season.
What do you think people will be surprised that you kept?
Surprised that I kept. Let's see.
Cabbage salesman.
Yeah, like I didn't keep him. I didn't keep him. See all of those kind of broad comedy stuff that has so much life in the movie. The movie can only handle a certain amount for you to believe the stakes of the movie, right? So what I've even found is I had a certain amount of broad comedy in it, and if the characters aren't honoring the milieu, the setting of what the movie's supposed to be, that it's time of war. It's not a great time. We've been out of balance. All those things aren't generally honored by everybody. It starts to fall apart a little bit. If they're not. You can have humor, but it has to be situation appropriate humor to the context. Whereas like in an episodic thing, you can really go broad and come right back again, and it's not such a big deal. Those kind of things are. I think this has been the most challenging thing about the process, as I was pointing to you, and I believe it's primarily the first season's thing, because they were finding the balance as well, and so I'm in the genetics of the movie. I'm finding the balance as well. What is the balance between kind of, let's call it the kind of the edgier Lord of the Rings part of it, and all of this stuff, the cabbage guy, which doesn't exist in Lord of the Rings. That kind of not my cabbages, all that stuff, and then the second season really kind of for me just laid right out. There's much less struggle with even the first draft of the screenplay is laid right out. You go, I get it. This is the Shakespearean background and all this stuff. So every day, and I still have stuff that I've shot that I'm struggling to kind of hold on to the last second. So we'll see what ends up in the final movie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As someone who typically created your own stories, really, the most part, was it difficult?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously. Fan of the show when you took on the project, but still, you know, the guy who wrote The Sixth Sense,
Yeah, yeah.
Creation. What was that like?
Liberating, because I think that the problem with being auteurish is you hold struggle so much to hold on to your vision, and that's a great thing and a bad thing, right? Because you can't see it from a perspective and be able to judge it honestly. Maybe I wouldn't be able to have the conversation about the tonality because I'm so like, you know, it has to be this way. I love the show and I love like almost everything in the series, so I know why I would put it in, but I have the perspective to be able to go, okay, by pulling out one line here, it actually makes it more meaningful. So I think it's been a good thing. I really enjoyed working on the movie, which is the main thing. I think that you'll feel that. You know, but I enjoy it. It's not work to me. It's you know, analyzing it and getting the balance right, and you know, the Miyazaki influence. Oh, that's the other thing. The Miyazaki influence of the show. Do you guys know who Miyazaki is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like my god. So that's it. He's Michael Jordan to me. You know, and you know, I met him last year, and. Luckily for me, he hasn't seen any of my movies, and we had a translator, and we were just talking about it was just such a great thing. He had his apron on, he was finishing Ponyo, and he was just animating, came back down, I was like, man, this is the greatest. And just that Mike and Ryan were so influenced by Miyazaki, and I'm so influenced by Miyazaki, that's just, you know, an honor. I'm like trying to get that tonality to reach the American audience, that kind of, you know, that water, it doesn't just mean water. It has meaning and something behind it. It's metaphorical, and I think in different cultures it's easier to accept that. Like when my movies go like around the world, the spirituality in them, it's like, you know, Spain, that's it, done. They right away they'll just take it right away. And anything I want, anywhere I want to go with spirituality, thing with Japan, and then other countries and other places, it's much more. You know, I'm not getting this. You know, what is this? And so, and the United States and UK would fall into a brother-sister category in that reaction. So I know when I come up with an idea that's more spiritually oriented, that these are the territories I'm going to have to be aware of and think in their mind that way. And so, in Last Airbender, it's a spiritual movie. There's just no way around it. It is. I mean, it's badass. It's really cool. But it's so meaningful in so many ways, and to make sure that comes through is something that really motivates me. So there's a lot of things that really excite me and make me want to be like the guardian angel of the movie. So I feel very very protective of it, and so there's a great connective tissue. So I feel great. The way I feel as a parent to my other movies, I feel that way as well for this movie.
If I could just ask a follow-up.
Sure.
So do you think that the experience opens you up to directing other people's scripts in the future, or something along those lines, adapting other works?
Yeah, no, as I said, no, my family would not back me on this statement, but I am open to that at the time. But I'm always writing. I'm writing a new movie now. I'm writing a new movie, a thriller for me to do, and I just have a bunch of ideas. And then what often happens is I'll get offered a movie, but I'll get offered a movie that needs a lot of work, and they'll say, come in and rewrite the whole thing, and then go direct it. And then I'm like, well, if I'm going to do all that, they're like, well, all you have to do is just keep the premise and then do whatever you want with it. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to make a movie fast. I'll just do this one that's in my head. I'm waiting for. I know, you know, it just happened with Airbender, and it'll happen again. And so, you know, I almost did Life of Pi, and that was more a timing thing than anything. I really loved that book, and I thought that I could really do a good job with it. And so, almost did that. If I had been offered Jurassic Park, I would have done that. I went to that, guys. I would love to do. I mean, you know, nothing would please me more than someone saying, well, it would have to be two forms, I guess. It would have to be like, here's the source material, a book that you are going to connect with in a way that's going to say, don't do the next movie of yours. Basically, that's what you're saying when they offer is, don't do that movie that you have in your head. Spend the next 2 years on this movie, And that could definitely happen. I fall in love with so many books and so many things, and now a TV show, right? Unexpectedly. Or the more wishful thing is that they hand me a screenplay that's like, man, that's unbelievable. Go make that. And I'm like, damn, if I can go make this movie in like a few months, this is fantastic.